In just 48 hours, Asian crab farmers can pull up over 3 million live mud crabs from rows of plastic boxes stretching across coastal ponds. It looks like an industrial miracle, rows of claws, shells, and splashing water. But behind every harvest lies sweltering heat, razor-sharp claws, and weeks of sleepless nights. The world knows mud crab as a luxury delicacy, buttery meat served in five-star Singapore or Hong Kong restaurants, yet the people who raise them do so knee-deep in brackish water, working through storms and tides just to keep them alive. Across Vietnam, Thailand, and the Philippines, coastal provinces have turned muddy estuaries into crab farming grids that stretch for miles. Each pond is divided into thousands of rectangular plastic boxes, each containing a single crab, a strange, orderly prison built for profit. Mud crab farming has become a billion-dollar trade, feeding Asia's appetite and supporting thousands of families. In provinces like Cha Mau or Samut Songkhram, this isn't just aquaculture, it's survival. For many farmers, a single harvest can mean the difference between sending their children to school or closing their gates for good. In Asian mud crab aquaculture, the production process is based on semi-intensive and box culture systems that allow high survival rates while maintaining manageable labor requirements. Juvenile crabs, usually Scylla serrata, Scylla paramamosain, or Scylla tranquebarica, are supplied from hatcheries or captured from wild nursery areas. Stocking typically begins when the crablets reach 3-5 centimeters in carapace width and weigh around 8,120 grams. Each crab is stocked individually into a compartment to prevent cannibalism. The most common setup involves polyethylene or polypropylene boxes measuring approximately 25 by 35 by 20 centimeters, with perforated sides for water exchange. These boxes are arranged in floating frames inside earthen ponds, cement tanks, or net enclosures with water depths between 40 and 60 centimeters. Stocking density varies depending on system type, but generally ranges from 5,000 to 20,000 boxes per hectare. Feeding is the major operational task. Farmers feed twice daily, early morning and late afternoon, using chopped low-value fish, mussel meat, small clams, or snail flesh. The feed conversion ratio, FCR, for mud crabs is typically 3:1, meaning 3 kilograms of feed produce 1 kilogram of marketable crab. Uneaten feed and shell fragments are removed regularly to maintain water quality. Water management is essential for maintaining growth and survival. The pond or tank water must be exchanged partially 20–40% every 2 to 5 days to maintain optimal salinity and dissolved oxygen. Water parameters are monitored daily: salinity between 15–25 ppt, pH between 7–5.8 R, and temperature between 26–32 degrees Celsius. Aeration is provided by paddle wheels or air diffusers to sustain oxygen levels above 4 milligrams per liter. During the rainy season, additional salt is applied to prevent rapid drops in salinity, while liming with calcium carbonate stabilizes pH and provides calcium for shell formation. Crab growth occurs through molting, which happens several times during the 90–120-day culture period. Farmers inspect individual boxes daily to identify pre-molt crabs based on dull shell color, widened suture lines, and softening at the leg joints. Those crabs are separated into isolated tanks or trays to avoid cannibalism during and after molting. After the new shell hardens, the crab is returned to its box for continued grow-out. Disease prevention and sanitation are handled through mechanical cleaning rather than chemicals. Box surfaces are brushed to remove fouling organisms. Sludge accumulation at the pond bottom is minimized by periodic siphoning and water exchange. Farmers add fermented rice bran or commercial probiotics to enhance microbial balance and reduce ammonia and nitrite buildup. Once the crabs reach harvestable size, generally 600–900 grams for export, they are starved for 24 hours to empty the gut and improve meat firmness. Harvesting is done manually by lifting the racks and collecting each crab by hand. Workers wear thick gloves to prevent injury. And the claws of harvested crabs are bound immediately with palm fiber strips or rubber bands. Mortality during handling is kept below 2% through careful restraint and aeration. The harvested crabs are transferred into holding tanks or net cages, supplied with continuous aerated seawater for 12–24 hours to purge mud and waste. After purging, they are graded by weight class: small 300–500 grams, medium 500–700 grams, large 701, 0 grams, and by gender, since male crabs with large claws command higher prices. Each batch is packed into insulated foam boxes lined with moist cloth or newspaper, with gel ice packs to maintain 10–12 degrees Celsius during transport. Operational efficiency depends on labor consistency and environmental control. A medium-scale farm with 20,000 boxes requires 5 to 8 workers for daily feeding, inspection, cleaning, and water management. Under optimal conditions, survival rates reach 80–90% and yield approximately 8–10 tons of live crab per hectare per cycle. This system, although labor-intensive, allows high-value production using simple materials and localized resources. It combines traditional tidal farming knowledge with controlled aquaculture techniques, forming the backbone of the regional mud crab supply chain across Southeast and East Asia. After harvest, live mud crabs are immediately subjected to sorting, grading, and regulatory checks before being sold or exported. Sorting begins at the farm level to ensure that only healthy, undamaged, and marketable crabs are selected. The primary criteria include weight, gender, shell hardness, and physical condition. Crabs are first divided into weight classes, generally classified as small 300–500 grams, medium 500–700 gram, large 700–900 grams, and jumbo above 900 grams. Export buyers and domestic processors often specify precise grading intervals of 50 or 100 grams for pricing consistency. Shell hardness is another major factor. Soft-shell crabs, which have recently molted, are separated and sold to specialized buyers, while hard-shell crabs are designated for live export and premium restaurant markets. Gender sorting is done visually by examining the abdominal flap, males, which have narrower and triangular abdomens, are preferred for their larger claw size and higher meat yield, while females with wide abdominal flaps are sometimes retained for broodstock or sold at lower prices to avoid depletion of reproductive stock. In some regions, particularly in Vietnam and the Philippines, regulations or local community codes restrict the capture or sale of buried females carrying eggs to maintain wild breeding populations. Grading for health and physical condition is carried out manually. Crabs showing missing claws, shell damage, or signs of bacterial or fungal infection are rejected. These may be sold to local wet markets at discounted prices or processed for meat extraction rather than live trade. Crabs that fail to meet visual health standards are not permitted for export under national quality control rules. All export-bound crabs must undergo inspection and certification in compliance with national aquaculture and food safety standards. In Vietnam, for example, the Department of Fisheries DOF and NAFICAD National Agroforestry Fisheries Quality Assurance Department monitor the presence of antibiotics, heavy metals, and pathogenic bacteria. In the Philippines, the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources BFAR implements the Aquatic Animal Health Code and requires farms to maintain health management logs. In Thailand, the Department of Fisheries regulates farm registration, traceability, and documentation of broodstock origin. Water quality and farm hygiene are also covered under environmental regulations. Farms are required to maintain effluent quality within limits for ammonia, nitrate, and total suspended solids before releasing water into natural canals. Some areas operate under eco-certification programs, such as ASC Aquaculture Stewardship Council or Global GAP, which demand documentation of feed sources, waste management, and labor safety practices. For live export, crabs must be packed according to international animal transport standards. Exporters follow IATA International Air Transport Association live animal regulations, ensuring adequate aeration, moisture, and temperature control during shipping. Temperatures are maintained between 10 degrees Celsius and 15 degrees Celsius, and total transport duration should not exceed 36 hours from packaging to delivery. Compliance with these sorting and regulatory procedures ensures that exported mud crabs meet both domestic and international food safety standards. Consistent grading improves price transparency, while adherence to sustainability and animal welfare regulations helps maintain long-term access to high-value markets such as Japan, South Korea, Singapore, and China. In commercial mud crab aquaculture, total yield is determined by pond size, stocking density, feed management, and mortality control. A standard 1 hectare farm equipped with individual box culture or pen systems produces between 8 and 12 metric tons of live crabs per crop. Under stable salinity and temperature conditions, the grow-out period ranges from 90 to 120 days. And most farms conduct 2 or 3 crops each year, depending on climate and water exchange capacity. Survival rate remains the most important performance indicator. With consistent feeding, proper aeration, and daily removal of fouled water, farms maintain 70 to 90% survival. Cannibalism is minimized by single crab stocking and regular transfer of molting individuals to isolation tanks. Feed conversion averages TRAW 0 to 3 Wu, and farms that control feeding schedules and water parameters closely achieve the best returns. A small-scale operation of about 5,000 boxes yields 3 to 5 tons per cycle, while larger units operating more than 30,000 boxes produce 15 to 20 tons. Average harvest size for market crabs is 6 to 900 grams. Export buyers often demand uniform grading for shipment planning, and the difference of 100 grams per crab can change pricing by 10 to 15%. On a regional basis, Southeast Asia remains the primary production zone. Vietnam's Mekong Delta produces roughly 50 to 60,000 tons annually, supplying both domestic and export markets. The Philippines contributes 30 to 35,000 tons, while Thailand, Indonesia, and Malaysia together add another 60,000 tons. Total output across the region is about 150,000 tons of live and processed crabs each year, accounting for more than 90% of global production. Farm gate prices fluctuate seasonally between 7 and 12 US dollars per kilogram depending on size and export demand. Large hardshell males with full meat fetch the highest value. Export prices range from $15 to $25 per kilogram, depending on air freight distance and mortality allowance. Each export shipment is packed at 10 to 12 degrees Celsius in insulated boxes containing 8 to 10 tons of live crabs per refrigerated container or air cargo batch. At industry scale, infrastructure for depuration and temporary holding has expanded. Regional hubs now maintain seawater circulation systems capable of storing 50 tons of live crabs at once, ensuring continuous supply for exporters and reducing losses before shipment. Processing facilities handle additional value-added products such as boiled, frozen, or cleaned crab sections for restaurant and retail markets. The mud crab industry contributes between 1.2 and 1.5 billion US dollars in annual export revenue and provides employment for roughly 200,000 people throughout the value chain. Because of high unit value and low space requirements, mud crab farming ranks among the most profitable aquaculture activities per hectare in tropical Asia. Growth potential remains stable, driven by strong demand from China, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Korea. Post-harvest handling of mud crabs is designed to maintain live condition and minimize mortality before delivery to buyers or export. Immediately after harvest, crabs are kept in shaded holding tanks or net cages supplied with continuous aeration and flowing seawater. This purging stage usually lasts 12 to 24 hours and allows the animals to expel mud, waste, and feed residues. Water temperature during holding is maintained between 26 and 28 degrees Celsius, with salinity kept consistent with the grow-out ponds to reduce stress. Once purged, crabs are transferred for packing. Each specimen is inspected to ensure shell hardness, full meat content, and absence of damage. Claws are bound with palm fiber strips or elastic bands to prevent injury during transport. Packing involves the use of insulated foam boxes lined with moist cloth, sawdust, or newspaper to maintain humidity. Cold gel packs are added to keep internal temperature around 10 to 12 degrees Celsius. This temperature range slows metabolism and movement, but does not harm the crab's oxygen demand decreases significantly at this range, extending shelf life for 36 to 48 hours without water. For air shipments, boxes are sealed and labeled according to live animal transport standards. Each box usually holds 10 to 15 kilograms of live crabs and is ventilated to allow air exchange. Exporters follow the International Air Transport Association IATA live animal regulations, which specify weight limits, moisture requirements, and emergency oxygen allowances. During longer distance sea shipments, crabs are stored in temperature-controlled containers, equipped with oxygenation systems and periodic misting to prevent dehydration. Some farms and processing centers handle partially processed or value-added products in addition to live shipments. Hard-shell crabs that are weak, damaged, or unsuitable for live export are boiled in seawater for 10 to 15 minutes, cooled rapidly, and packed as chilled or frozen whole crabs. In regions supplying the soft-shell crab market, newly molted crabs are collected daily, washed, trimmed, and immediately frozen in blast freezers at -40 degrees Celsius to preserve texture and flavor. Cold chain integrity is maintained through every stage. Transport vehicles, storage tanks, and packing rooms are equipped with temperature data loggers to ensure compliance with food safety standards. Processors are required to meet hazard analysis and critical control point HACCP certification and maintain records for traceability. Water used in cleaning and boiling must meet microbiological standards set by national authorities. Dode. For domestic distribution, live crabs are moved to wholesale depots or restaurants within 24 hours. For export, the entire process from harvest to arrival at destination should not exceed 72 hours. Mortality rates of 2% or lower are considered acceptable for live shipments. When handling and temperature control are maintained correctly, crabs remain viable for up to 5 days in cold storage, with minimal quality loss. Mud crab aquaculture operates as a high-value but labor-intensive segment of coastal economies across Southeast and East Asia. The system requires moderate capital investment and generates relatively high income compared to most brackish water species. Startup costs include land preparation, pond lining, water gate construction, box or cage infrastructure, and seed purchase. Initial establishment for a 1 hectare box culture unit averages between $10,000 and $20,000 US dollars depending on material type and water management equipment. Operating costs are dominated by feed, which accounts for 50 to 60% of total expenditure, followed by labor, electricity for aeration and pumping, seed costs, and maintenance. Profitability depends mainly on survival rate, feed conversion efficiency, and export market access. Under stable conditions, a 1 hectare farm producing 8 to 10 tons per cycle can generate gross revenue of $80,000 to $120,000 US dollars per crop after deducting all operational costs. Net profit typically ranges from 20 to 30% of gross income. Smallholder farms operating 5,000 boxes may earn $3,000 to $6,000 per cycle, while medium-scale producers handling 20,000 boxes can achieve $15,000 to $20,000 in net profit every 3 to 4 months. Employment generation in this sector is significant. A medium farm requires 5 to 8 full-time workers responsible for feeding, water exchange, cleaning, and harvesting. Wage levels vary by region, but average between $8 and $15 per day. Often supplemented by housing and meals on-site, seasonal workers are also hired during harvest and packaging periods, providing short-term income for local communities. Upstream and downstream linkages add further economic value through hatchery operations, feed supply, transport, and export logistics. The regional economic contribution of mud crab farming is substantial across Vietnam, Thailand, the Philippines, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Total annual export revenue is estimated at $1.2 to $1.5 billion US. The value chain supports approximately 200,000 jobs, including small-scale farmers, traders, exporters, and service providers. Although production volume is far lower than shrimp aquaculture, profit margins per hectare are higher because of the premium market value of live crabs and the lower dependence on expensive feed additives or pharmaceuticals. International market dynamics strongly influence income stability. China remains the largest importer, absorbing more than 60% of total exports, followed by Singapore, Hong Kong, and South Korea. Price fluctuations are seasonal, peaking during Lunar New Year and major holiday periods when consumption increases. Exchange rate shifts and freight costs also affect net income, especially for small exporters. Some countries, such as Vietnam and the Philippines, promote diversification by encouraging the processing of soft shell and frozen crab products to reduce reliance on volatile live trade prices. This isn't just about seafood, it's about the people who live ankle-deep in saltwater, trusting that nature will reward patience. It's about endurance under the sun, and the thin line between life and loss in every plastic box. From the mud of Asia's estuaries to the tables of the world's finest restaurants, the journey of a single crab reflects the will of millions. So the next time you taste that sweet, rich crab meat, remember, behind every claw is a story of struggle, innovation, and human resilience. Would you choose high-tech farming or return to the tides? Share your thoughts and see how the ocean continues to feed us all.